Hello guys! Flashlight Enthusiast here. So today it came to me that I should probably start reviewing my Haikelite collection, and for the first fire I should say goes the actually newest one, the HK04, which is the pretty new product with 4 SST40 LEDs, but it can be also with XPL high or XHP 50.2 and 3 volts. So a pretty wide variety of options. I've got this, as they say, desert fence yellow, but it's just brown, okay. But it'll also be like, traditional black one. Very, very nice flashlight, but with no further ado, let's take a look at the box first, because I have some reservations to the box. The box itself is pretty nice and neat. I mean, the design is new, because previously they got this plain cardboard with the black print, and now they got the new design, which is I believe very nice. As you can see, we've got quality cardboard in white color, and some pretty neat print here with Haikelite logo, but unfortunately on the box we cannot actually tell what flashlight sits inside, because there's no information whatsoever. So let's open this up and see what we've got inside. As you can see, we've got some dirt here. Oh my god, not good. And yes, as you can see, the manual print leave some black marks on the box and possibly at your fingers. So yeah, we've got this nice manual in Chinese, but luckily we also have the English version on the other side. As you can see, it is a little bit vast, but actually Anduril, so that's good. Yeah, so we even have some specs here for all the offered options. As you can see, they are a little bit exaggerated, but that's okay. I will tell you more about my testing later. I've got this luminous SST40 version, but for now definitely recommending reading this one. But if you prefer the talking version of Anduril, then definitely check out my video explaining every feature of Anduril right in the corner. But for now, let's see what else we've got here. We've got a quality USB C charging cable, because this flashlight is actually rechargeable, and this violet color, I haven't seen anything like this before. I mean, violet color, well, definitely original. What else we've got? We've got some spurs here, and let me open up for you. Oops. And what we got here? A lanyard and spare O-rings, 2 of them, so pretty standard here. Let's take it aside. The flashlight was wrapped in this bubble, whatever, and that's pretty it, as you can see. We also got some slots here, possibly for batteries, but I couldn't see that Haikelite offered the kit version with batteries. I don't believe they offer that, so yeah, you have to buy spare ones by yourself. But it is definitely a good package. So let's take a look at the flashlight itself. As you can see, we've got it in brown color. We've got the USB C charging port under the tightly sitting rubber cover. So it opens up like this, and we've got this USB C charging possibilities, which is good. I measured the amps, about like over 2 amps, so it is quite fast charging. Yes, it appears red when it's charging, and it will change to blue when the charging has been finished, so don't wait too long. And the seal is okay. Obviously it will pop up when the flashlight hits to a certain level, but it won't pop out itself, so don't worry about it. And this little rubber piece, make sure that you can open it up with ease. Alright, so let's take a look at the design. We've got the prints here, so no prints all around the flashlight, which is very good. I like that. So clean design, Haikelite HK04. The knurling is deep and aggressive, so definitely you can hold the flashlight pretty well and it won't slip out of your hands. The cooling fins are rich, yes, definitely. Oh yeah, as you can see, they are pretty deep and there are numerous cooling fins at the head. And this weird design of this ring and rectangular box, I don't know what they mean, but it is quite nice. Although I have to admit that these cooling fins and especially these rectangular pieces here are a little bit sharp, so I would advise Haikelite to pay closer attention to the finish of the aluminum body, because yeah, these cooling fins are a little bit sharp, but for the first time when you do something like this here in this section, you may actually feel like you are polishing your fingers at the edge of knife. I mean, this corners are very sharp, so definitely be careful with that. But apart from this one, yeah, the switch rubber looks a little bit cheap, just like in this Haikelite MT40. This is identical switch, but it works just fine, so don't worry, it just looks cheap, but the click is very good and noticeable, so I wouldn't complain much more about this one. And I really like the LEDs under the switch. They are a little bit dim in daylight, but at night they're just ideal. That won't disturb your night vision, but on the other hand you will still be able to notice the flashlight in the dark, so very good job here at the brightness of auxiliary LEDs under the switch. And they are also configurable via Anduril 7 clicks, I remind you, so yeah, this is the high setting and I like it just fine. Alright, let's take a look at the reflectors. They are quite deep, not as deep as this MT40. As you can see, there is quite difference there, because this one is classic thrower, this one is more like universal beam. It reminds me of the BLF Q8, for example, or another flashlight that is very similar is the Sofern SP36. So yeah, the design is pretty similar, as you will see when I open up the battery tube, but this one is definitely more powerful, because manufacturer rates is around 9,000 lumens, but I would rather say it's more like 8,000, 2,000 lumens per each one of SST40 emitters is definitely a realistic number. As you could see, the flashlight is quite powerful, and it also uses the PWM, so don't worry, only camera can pick it up, no naked eyes problems. What can I tell you more? Actually, I don't know what it is with the Haikelites, but I always find some flaws in the reflector itself. I mean, some chips in the polished surface. And I have it with every single Haikelite I own, which are around I believe 4 of them. It's nothing that will disturb the beam pattern, but when you look at the reflector, you can see some small chips in the surface. For example, probably you won't see it on the camera. Oh yeah, here it is, here. So it's some tiny details that might spoil you the first impression of the flashlight, but it will fade away the moment you are in dark forest and you click the button twice, alright? If you know what I mean. So yeah, let's open this one up. We've got nice looped from the factory threads. They are quite deep, but unfortunately they are triangular, as you can see, so no square threads, but don't worry about this one. We've got the glued driver, so not opening it up easily, but it's okay. As you can see, we've got this one ring design that touches your positive pole of batteries, which is identical design as in this SP36 or BLFQ8. So yeah, actually it might work with flat top batteries, but I would suggest going with some button top, at least some raised. I've got this Sony VTC6 here, but I believe you can also use the Sanyo GA because these batteries are in series, so even with 10 amps per battery you still get 30 amps, so per 4 emitters, unless you're using the XHP50 version, it should go just fine. But for XHP50 version you definitely need some high power batteries like the Sony VTC6 or Samsung 30Q. We've got nice thick springs there, no double springs, but that's okay. I don't believe they are necessary here because the amps are not that crazy there. So overall, very nice design. I cannot criticize it here. No sharp edges inside the battery carrier. So yeah, I'm content here, definitely. Very nice. If you're using flat top, make sure that you know to check if the connection is good and the batteries are being discharged in the even manner, because there are some, you know, cases that you put 3 batteries but only one will make contact, and again if you put it in the charger, outside charger, not in this one, no, not charging with included USB C, but in the outside charger, you will notice that one battery may be discharged fully but other will be full, so yeah, make sure. As you can see, when I screw this down fully, the rubber port cover pop out. Well, it is as it is. We've got also 3 lanyard attachments, so as you can see you can have like triple protection, 3 lanyards attached to your wrist, so don't worry if one breaks, you have 2. If 2 breaks, you know, you still got the 3rd one. So definitely thoughtful design. Alright guys, it is Anduril, so I won't waste any time to, you know, to give you all the features, but basic one click for on, 1 click for off. Hold the side switch from off to access the lowest mode, which is the moonlight. Obviously from on, if you turn on the flashlight, hold the button to increase the brightness, hold again to decrease the brightness, and then you also have this magic double top feature for the turbo output, which is insane. And I have to admit, guys, that this flashlight is thermal wise very well made. I mean, I tested this one with my lux meter, obviously, so as you can see right now on the screen, it drops the output pretty quickly, but not as quickly as many Anduril flashlight will. Around 3 minutes you get this stable dropping in output, but only after 3 minutes you've got this huge drop to around 20%, I believe. Yep. So this flashlight stabilizes at around 1000 or 1500 lumens. It is, you know, it is Anduril, so you won't achieve this stabilized output without cooling or special conditions, but as I tested it in room temperature without any cooling, as you could see, the flashlight held steadily 58 degrees with 60 degrees thermal regulation set, so I think it's an excellent result, you know, judging that Anduril will just adjust the output to, you know, keep the temperature as close to your set limit as it only could be. So yeah, I'm really content with the flashlight design and thermal capabilities, and what I really enjoyed in Anduril is the fact that you can, even in this temperature like 58 or 60 degrees even, you can still, after the drop, you can still actually reset the output, and it will go to the FET driver, so it will go to the highest possible mode that the batteries can provide, and the LEDs will will survive. So yeah, and it will drop after that, but you can still reset, reset. So yeah, definitely a nice addition. So yeah, let me show you the beam pattern. It is obviously the classic beam of quadruple reflector with quad LED. But we also have this nice and quite intense hotspot for throw. Actually, I measured over 600 meters of throw on this one. So I believe an astonishing result. But we also have quite a lot of light at the sides, so the spill is quite bright. And because of the flower pattern, the area lit is quite huge. As I said, it is an universal beam pattern. We've got the Q8 here, which will provide, as you can see, similar beam pattern, but actually this one is a little bit narrower than Q8, and the hotspot is also more intense, despite this Q8 being on XPL high emitters. As you can see, warm white. Yeah, I like that. And this one appears a little bit greenish side by side with this 90 CRI XPL high emitters, but don't worry. In reality, the tint is quite nice, being the SST40 5000K, a little bit over 70 CRI, but unless you compare this one side by side to some Nichia or high CRI emitters, even for the tint snob, this one looks just fine. A little bit greenish, but more on the pure white side, so definitely a good choice for me. Alright guys, let's go outside and show you how it goes and operates in the darkness. Haikelite HK04 SST40 5000K version, default ramp. Has quite a narrow spot with flower pattern on the side, so definitely a universal light pattern. Let's ramp it up, maybe here. This is the ceiling, default ceiling, just like from the factory. I didn't mess up with my Anduril settings. Alright, as you can see, the spill is pretty wide. Alright, and let's go to turbo mode. Wow, it definitely lights up a huge area. You have nice narrow center, beam for throw, and very wide and bright spill. Reminds me of a BLF Q8, but with definitely less intense hotspot, so more universal. This is not a thrower, mind you. This is more like a universal beam that spreads evenly from hotspot to spill. Definitely some hotspot is visible, but it's more diffuse like in LH351 emitter version, but still, because of the power, has some throw to it. Let me show you on a longer distance. Yeah, so definitely you can see the spot on the ground, right on the trees. Definitely nice flashlight. I would say that it is like 8000 lumens, maybe. It is pretty damn bright. Alright, this is the ceiling, and let's go lower. And these are these beautiful SST40 emitters. Alright guys, let's sum it up. Well, what can I say, guys? I'm really enjoying this flashlight. I mean, it has some drawbacks. Obviously, the quality of finish and the price is a little bit steep for what you get, I believe, because $74 without any coupon cost might be a little bit too much for this flashlight, at least in my opinion. But overall, I'm impressed. I mean, the beam pattern is good. The thermal capabilities are excellent. Definitely no flaws in the driver whatsoever. And the performance is quite amazing. And the fact that it can hold the brightness in the 10% range, for a full 3 minutes, it is very good result. So yeah, pretty universal beam pattern, as you could see in the beam shots. The batteries could be recharged via the USB C with over 2 amps charging rate, so quite fast. The finish is good here, and the color is a little bit unique. Not more brown flashlights on the market, I believe. So yeah, quite unique. So guys, I could definitely recommend this one to you. If you accept some minor flaws of this construction, then definitely check this one out. I bought this one at AliExpress.com, so yeah, I can definitely recommend this source directly from the manufacturer's side. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, hit the subscribe button because more videos are on the way. Make sure to leave a comment if you have any questions, and as always guys, thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.